Alright, welcome back to part 21, the season finale. This will be the end of season 1. I do have lots more coming, but we're going to go ahead and cut those into different seasons. You may recall this was kind of the castle construction I was doing to the, I want to say north of where I started, but we're just going to take a grand tour of the things that we've done. Which you guys have probably seen in other videos. I really did like how this kind of came out. It was one of those structures that I was just playing around with. I had a nice little fountain going. I was going to play with more water over there in a monster trap. I did build more area towards the top and then the platform here. Again, the idea of Season 1 was to just start a brand new world and then just play. And you guys have joined me through most of that, and I'll say thank you for that. There's the raised platform, and back up here I had the kind of the castle structure and a little tower I made here, kind of a lookout tower. Not necessarily spider-proof, not even really creature-proof too much. Every now and then I get a creeper that blows up on me from somewhere around in here. But I was still just playing around, giving me some ideas on building and what I like to do and what worked and what didn't. We'll head back over towards our original starting area and take a look at the stuff that's over there. I know when I've kind of... Actually, I can go a different way here. It's funny how you become so used to knowing where everything is, even though it's kind of pretty hectic. It's been a pretty fun world so far. I mean, I've found some good caves. I've found some good locations. I've done a lot of decent building and had a lot of fun playing, so that's always the goal. Run back this way. I got hell. I found diamonds. There's all kinds of stuff that we really got to do. Experimented a little bit with patches here and there. This area, you might recall, I was doing some testing of how water works and how boats work with water, and I needed to enclose it so I could not be bothered by the mass amount of creatures that seem to always try to get in. It's always good that if you have an experiment area that you just build it. I never once in the whole series put this on peaceful. I always kept it on, I believe, either normal or hard. Normal. I did die. In fact, you can see the creeper holes and here and there. Not very often, but I did. I had a very horrible start in the very beginning. Couldn't even build a building on the first day. I ended up huddling in a tree, hoping nothing would find me, as I had explored all around looking for coal and never did find it, only to realize that charcoal was easily made out of wood, which I didn't know at the time. So you always learn something new. But this was where it kind of started. This whole little this little pillar here was what was supposed to help me figure out how to get back home and which way and directions I'd explored. Put a little dog kennel here because I was beginning to get quite a few wolves that I was picking up throughout the world. Played around with creating a bridge. It was the start of, using a cobblestone road, or the dock I was going to put a boat out on. Never really finished. But really, that was my first structure there, that the treehouse. And I didn't have the lookout or the other building. I just kind of began with the treehouse and began with the stone quarry here. And that's kind of what led to everything else. I was building this during the day and coming in here during the night, gathering materials, storing materials, crafting my stuff, which eventually allowed me to complete this area. More playing around with water. And I created a farm for good food production. This worked out really well. I mean, It was simple. I didn't really need that many materials, and it's worked great. Definitely can be expanded and made bigger. The idea of using glass lighting. So I really thought this first structure kind of turned out alright. I'm kind of quite fond of it. It's simple, it's small, it's nothing elaborate, it's not as big as like a lot of the other people when they create their stuff. And you know, I wish I had that talent to create giant superstructures, but just not something that I've done yet. It's more just cozy, useful, utilitarian. Kind of what I thought, you know, what almost like a Robinson Crusoe might build, something that they could build by hand, would take a while, but not necessarily overly big. Like this little lookout deck area, I was playing around with the idea of kind of having a kind of like a porch almost, and then finishing the whole starting of, I guess not finishing, the starting of expanding the treetop city, or the treetop into a city. And I was just playing around with the different ways I could link up the trees, what kind of structures I'd like to use, how I was going to light them, those kinds of things. Off to, let's see, off to the east was the stone quarry that and mine. But I didn't really mine too much there because with the way Spider Cave worked out, I got most of my materials that I needed out of Spider Cave. I had planned on using that eastern area for a mine, but really what it turned into is the house for my portal and how I got to hell, which you guys have seen in the last few episodes, so I probably won't run over that way. You guys remember Spider Cave. I did connect it through the quarry so that I could get back and forth. Here was just the quarry. I was trying to figure out, you know, my spawn point is right underneath there. I could probably dig straight down and get to this tunnel if I needed to when I died. Just mined out any material that was useful, like coal. This brought me over to the Spider Cave a safe way. And then basically what I had is I had to cover this up a little bit because I had a bunch of sand there. You guys have seen Spider Cave, so I mean, you've seen the staircase. I've gone down 100 times, and leads over to the first spawn trap I ever created. This was the monster trap, or at least the back door to the monster trap. This was a nice big part of Spider Cave. It's one of those things that I've kind of had a lot of fun exploring. I finally did put another route down. This kind of winds on, but I was able to connect a small staircase here. And this got me to another area I was playing around with, devising how to use, I think I had a creeper blow up there, my spawn trap. Nice area to mine. I think I needed gravel, so I started really working through here to my gravel. Oh yeah, this was like a crazy winding staircase I made that goes all the way back also. Alright, so that was Spider Cave, and it has lots of branches and lots of fun. You can go back through the episodes and see all the things that happened here. I'm going to use this style of staircase again on another construction. I liked how it turned out and looked. But I guess for the season finale I needed one last thing, so what I did is I went ahead and secured Spider Cave, the top of it, and I created this new structure, which what I'll do is I'll get out so that you guys can see it, and then we'll come back and explore it. Kind of give you the full effect here in a second. We'll look at the ground while we do this. Alright, so here's our base. I think it looks best from up top, so I'll run up top real quick. Okay, so as a season finale I went ahead and created a Mott and Bailey. This was a structure that I didn't show you guys the construction of, but it was meant to secure the top side of the cave. It was meant to be a spider-proof, zombie-proof, skeleton-proof building. I probably need to light the inside more to be totally foolproof from spawns, but the outside should be pretty impregnable. I'll give you a tour. I liked how it turned out. I used basically a wooden palisade idea where I just built, I had to gather a lot of logs and wood to create this. I'm able to walk along it. This area on the side here helps keep the spiders out. And I even started using glowstone for lighting. Create a couple little corral areas that I could put animals in. Probably I was going to move the dog pens over here at some point. And then stairs up to the walls so that I can get around. These are the two gates that I can get inside. And then I have a side gate. So probably still a little bit dark out here. There's probably little spots where they can still spawn, so I got to be a little careful, even on the top of the wall. But I felt pretty happy about it. The inside was, this was the entrance to Spider Cave, which I've completely redone now, and you can't even really recognize it. Although this right here really was the way back in that I first originally found, was this right there. And then I built a structure up here that was pretty safe, pretty wide open. I could start filling with bookcases and beds and pictures and things. Although I guess really pictures aren't going to fit too well on these walls. I'll have to think about that as I'm constructing next time. And then the top area where I can get a really good vision of everything. So that's the world. There are a few more structures. There's, like, from the last two episodes, my structure out that way, which was an experiment. I did a lot of exploring in the different directions. You know, a few things here or there that I might not have shown you, but for the most part, that's what the world has been. I haven't built tons. I haven't built mega structures, but I felt really happy about how the season went so far. And I think that's where we'll end number 1. I want to just say thank you for joining, and thanks for all the subscribers and all the great tips and comments from viewers. And, well, there we go. The rain is here, so I think it's time to go in. Thank you for joining one last time, and check back soon for Season 2.